Shalom, Azarala. I'm going to give infinite honors to my Heavenly Father, my great King, Yahweh Bashem Awashai, Bashem Hira Kakadash, double honors to my elder apostles and elder bishops, a great millstone, and salutation to my fellow laborers in the Mashak Yahweh Shai, puts his beloved doctrine across the four winds. Shalom. All right, I came across this clip. This former NBA player Kwame Brown was playing a clip of an interview from Judge Joe Brown. Judge Joe Brown, an old school cat, used to be on daytime TV as a judge, and he said a lot of things that are accurate. All right, sometimes he be rambling, but a lot of times he from the old school and he got that old school mindset that us brothers, a lot of us that grew up in the 80s, and the brothers that were born in the 70s grew up under. All right, and what they say, the worldly niggas down here say that old law. All right, with men were men, and I seen the clip that he played, and you're gonna see by these guys, those 5 guys that was wrongly imprisoned in New York, and Donald Trump had some things to say about them, and Al Sharpton brought them out there to sway the minds of the people. All right. And I was like, whoa, this is witchcraft. Because when we think of witchcraft, we think of Gargamel on the Smurfs whipping up a potion, or the Wizard of Oz, a witch on a broom, and voodoo, a woman doing voodoo or something. No. All right. Those things is witchcraft. Don't get it twisted. You got levels to it. But when you understand what witchcraft solely is, basically is manipulating your senses. That's all it is. Witchcraft is manipulate the manipulation of your thought process, your cognitive function, the way you think. That's witchcraft. And politics is nothing but wizards and sorcerers. All right, those politicians are nothing more than warlocks. All right, swaying the minds of the people, leading the people in the path that they want them to go. That's all it is. This educational industrial complex here in America, witchcraft. All right. It mind fucks the individual and tells them what this B system says is right and wrong. All right. And it decapitates you from being able to think righteously according to the scriptures. And I'm going to give an example of what witchcraft is and how Al Sharpton is using the tool. He's nothing more than a warlock in what he was doing, swaying the 2/3 of our people. Because when you look at this democratic process, it has done nothing to our people. Our people, voting, you're going out voting anyway, voting for a Roman Caesar to rule over you. That's going off in itself, according to the law. That's a transgression of the law when you read Deuteronomy 17 chapter. But when you look at the process, all right, it's like, and I was deceived. I voted before I came to the faith. You see that the person you vote for, you're looking at them on TV. You don't know them personally. All right. You don't know their values personally. All you see is what they say on the news about this person. Okay. When it comes to black people, most black people don't look up their politics. All right. They don't look at what this person worked and what their reputation was, where they worked. Okay. All they see is what somebody that looks like them is telling them. That's it. Like Kamala Harris, most people just see that she's black. So you play on the simplicity of the simpletons and say, oh, she's a black woman. And then you demonize Donald Trump. All right, and say he's the worst thing since Hitler. When in fact, if you go into politics and you call yourself a Christian, Donald Trump has more values that are similar to the Bible than all the Democrats that our people are going to vote for. And most of our people say they're Christians, but they would not vote for a man that stands on more biblical principles than the person they're voting for. All right, and they're swayed by the Democratic politics, and then they go vote against somebody that stands for everything they're against. That's witchcraft. Making a person believe that good is evil and evil is good. And I'm going to show you that's what the so-called white man has done to our people. And they raise up puppet sellouts to do it to our people all the more. And I'm going to give you an example. Okay? So I'm going to start off in Genesis. You know what? I'm going to play that later. And then I'm going to follow it through the scriptures. All right? I'm going to start off in... oh shit. Let me get the Blue Letter Bible. I thought I had it up already. All right, bear with me. Let me get this Blue Letter Bible up. Okay, I thought I had it up. I did. All right, now this is what I want. This is Genesis, the 3rd chapter. Okay, and we're gonna go into the serpent. All right. Now this is when you read about the serpent and the garden and the apple. It's not literal. These are metaphorical, allegorical, dark sentences. All right, they're not literal. All right, you have to have a spiritual mindset to understand Genesis the 3rd chapter. It wasn't a talking snake. All right, that's an allegory. The Lord likened the people of that nation to snakes. And what is a snake? It's a subtle, cunning creature. All right, it's sneaky. It hunts its prey by subtlety and outwitting its prey. All right, and then it gives it that venom to subdue its prey. All right, and the Lord likened a nation of people to that fucking reptile. All right, so this is not talking about a literal serpent. So I'm gonna read the verse first. This Genesis 3:1. Now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field which the Lord Yahweh Bashem Shai had made, the Elohim had made. All right, now this is not talking about literal animals, literal reptiles. All right, this is talking about the heathens. All right, throughout the planet Earth. Out of all of the other races, the other nations, the Lord say one nation was more subtle than all of the races on all the heathen nations on the planet Earth. Okay, the Lord likened the heathen to beasts. All right. And he said unto the woman, yeah, have Yahweh said you shall not eat of every tree of the garden? And when you go into that, he knew the commandments. He knew the do's and don'ts, but he manipulated Eve like the so-called white man does to this day. He manipulates the so-called black woman, all right, and have her going astray. All right. Now I'm going to go to this word serpent. Okay. Let's get it. All right, and they're going to see what that word serpent goes into. All right.
Strong's H 5175. Nachash.
Nahash.
Nachash.
All right. Now this is what is Strong's info. They said it's from the hiss, a serpent. Okay. A snake. Okay. Now we're going to go to the root word, and let's see what the root word says, okay? To show you it's not a literal snake, all right? We're going to show Strong's, all right? A primitive root, okay? Now, let's see what it says. Properly, to hiss, and that hiss represent lying, manipulating, all right? That's what the snake does. It's not a literal hiss. A whisperer, a snake can't whisper. A magic spell. What is a spell used for? To manipulate a person's senses. That's why people put spells on people. All right. Conjure up demons to put spells on people so they can control people. All right. A snake can't do that. All right. Yeah, a snake beguiles his prey by, but that's why the Lord used a snake. A snake beguiles his prey by manipulating. You got certain snakes that have camouflage. They blend in with their surroundings. All right, this is what the Lord say this nation of people do. They parade themselves like angels of light, but they're really demons of hell. All right, talking about the so-called white man, the red Hebrew Edomites. Okay, generally to prognosticate, certainly divine enchanter. Okay, enchantment learned by experience, indeed diligently to observe. Now let's get some of these words, because let's see, can a snake conjure up a smell? No. Humans conjure up spells. Can a snake prognosticate? No. All right. Humans prognosticate. All right. Can snakes divine? No. Humans divine and do enchantments. Now let's get what these words mean. Okay. Let's get these words. All right. This is the word divination. All right. And this is what that word serpent means. Is a warlock. These were witches and warlocks in the Garden of Eden, manipulating the sons of God, Adam and Eve. All right, and Eve was deceived, and Adam followed his woman like a sucker. Okay, divination is the practice of using rituals or techniques to gain insight into a situation or question. And this is what the so-called white man uses. He used this democratic process, his politics, all right, this as a technique to manipulate the minds of the simpletons to make them think the way he want them to think, okay? Or to foretell the future, all right? And you know when you read Isaiah the 14th chapter, it say this devil wants to be like the Most High. He wants to be able to tell the future. It say he wants to set himself up and be the Most High. Second Thessalonians, the second chapter goes in there too. All right. It can involve supernatural powers, and this devil can tap into the left-handed power. He can do supernatural things on the left-handed side. Okay. Now he deceived the people by saying making movies of him doing it and saying the science fiction, but nah, he can. He is dealing with Satan, the spiritual entity Satan, and those demons, and they work for him. Okay. Omens are natural and psychological techniques, and that's what I want to get on. Psychological techniques, all right? Spiritual warfare is a mental warfare. It's all about a war for your mind, all right? When you are destroyed mentally, a person has complete control over you, okay? And that's what this devil wants, complete control. Yahweh Shem Shai has complete control over his servants, okay? He has full domination over our minds. We live to serve him and do what's well pleasing him. The so-called white man wants that power. He wants full domination of your psychological thought process, your cognitive function. He wants you to be like him. All right. Divination has been practiced in all civilizations, both ancient and modern. And that's what I started in the Garden of Eden. It's been happening since the beginning of time. That's why I started in Genesis, the 3rd chapter. All right. Witchcraft has been going on since the beginning. All right. That's why we fell from grace. All right. Because we were subdued by the manipulation of the so-called white man. All right. And back then he was called the seed of the wicked. All right. That same spirit that enveloped that was in Cain is the same spirit that is made one and that consumes the so-called white race. All right. These Hebrew Edomites. All right. This can involve death, such as ordeal by water, or which was expected. Nah, that's not the one I want. All right. It was one. All right, here we go. Modern divination. This includes astrology, horoscopes, scrying, tarot cards, and Ouija boards. All right. And when you do all these things, all this left-handed magic, what does it does to the person that's seeking out these diviners? All right, these astrologers, so on and so forth. Their mind get taken away. All right, that person that's practicing that practice, he gets power over that person. All right, he tells that person anything and they believe it. Okay, all the way to the fact that they'll make a person sacrifice their child. All right, to get good fortune. All right. And that's what this so-called white man does in his democratic process, in his political system. I'm going to prove it. All right. It's nothing but witchcraft and sorcery going on. All right. Now, they did also say prognosticating. All right. I want to get that word prognosticating. No. I had another word I want to get, enchantment. Let's get enchantment. All right. The word enchantment, I'm going to get definition 2. The state of being under a spell, magic. The so-called black race here in America, the tribe of Judah, are under the spell of this democratic process. Whatever they see on CNN and Fox News, they believe it without questioning it. Okay? They're under a curse because they suffer from acute Stockholm syndrome, and they love their oppressor who has given them strong drink to drink, and they have strong delusion, and they believe the lies of the so-called white man. That's witchcraft at its purest form. All right. When you believe his history books, when you believe, you take his psychology courses when you go to college. I had to take those courses. Developmental psychology, abnormal psychology, all his psychological books. All right. All those things you learn in the higher places of higher education. All right. Our people believe that shit. And that's him using his witchcraft to sway your way of thinking. Okay? When I was growing up, man, nobody wanted people from the LGBTQ around them, men and women. I grew up in the 80s, the 90s. All right? These people had to live under rocks. But now, with this devil changing his educational industrial complex and on the news outlets, giving them more liberty and pushing his agenda through legislation for people to respect him and accept him more. All right. People that thought a certain way in the 80s, 90s, now they tolerate it. Now they're all for it. All right. Now they're saying we gotta love those people. All right. That witchcraft has manipulated their minds. Okay. My family members were totally against it. And I'm talking about the elders in my family, the older people. Now since society has changed, they have changed with society. You call that witchcraft, all right? You call that a playing on the senses, manipulating the senses. Witchcraft is nothing more than manipulating your senses, the way you think, your thought process. Spiritual warfare is mental warfare. It's taking over your mind, consuming you. In fact, let me get a precept to bag up what I'm saying. This is what the Lord raised this devil up for in the last days. This is Revelation 21 and what's the one I want? I thought it was 7. It might be 20. Let me go to 20. Bear with me. Yeah, I think it's 20. All right. This is Revelation 20 and 7. All right, yep, this is it. Revelation 20 and 7. And when 1,000 years are expired, Satan shall be loosed out of his prison. The so-called white man is Satan. He's the physical incarnation of Satan on the planet Earth. All right, and the spiritual entity Satan consumes that nation of people. Okay? And he shall go out to deceive the nations, which are in the four quarters of the earth. See, that's what this devil is raised up to deceive. All right, to divine, to give spells upon the people, put spells on the people. All right, seek his prognosticators. All right, and whatever those entities tell those prognosticators, give it to the people and give them those strong delusions and deceive the people, making them think good is evil and evil is good. All right, and you're totally alienated from Yahweh Shema Shai's word. All right, this is what the so-called white man does in this system through education, entertainment, every facet of life, every genre in this society. All right. And he's pushing this LGBT, whatever the fuck it is, LGBTQ, all those fucking letters. He's pushing it on the people to the point where people were totally against it. They're all for it. Okay. And that's why we know he's going to push that wine so strong. He's going to have those people ready to kill us. If he could sway his mind, if he could sway the minds of the simpletons that easily, all right, for in a matter of 5 years, people have changed their outlook on a certain topic. It's going to be easy for him to demonize us and have our family members turning us in for bounties dead or alive. Okay, because that's the Lord gave him this the skill to manipulate and deceive. All right, John the 8th chapter say he was a liar from the beginning. All right, and that's what we read in verse 3 in Genesis chapter 3, and it reads. I'm gonna read it again. Okay, and it says, and when 1,000 years are expired, and note the 1,000 years were expired in the 1400s during the Renaissance period, when this devil came out of his abyss and came back into power through the Roman Catholic Church. Satan shall be loose out of his prison, because during those 1,000 years, during the Dark Ages, all right, during the Byzantium, the time of the Moors, so on and so forth, the end of the Eastern Roman Empire where Jake ruled, okay, this devil, we had him in derision for 1,000 years, okay, but he was taken out of captivity and came out of the caves, okay, and rose back up into power, and shall go out to deceive the nations which in the four quarters of the earth, Gog and Magog. So the Lord put the spirit on these Americans to get those Russians ready to battle, to gather them together to battle, the number of whom is the sand of the sea, the war of wars, World War III. So the Lord has raised this devil up to deceive the peoples of the earth and kick off World War III. Okay? So, let me play this clip since I've done that. Now let me show you how Al Sharpton is playing on the minds of all these black people to tell them don't vote for Trump. All right. And we are totally against voting. I got the precepts to show. If you're in your right mind, you don't want to vote nothing. Cause to vote is to say you want this place to go on. All right. If you're in your right mind, you want this place to be destroyed, and you want to be delivered, and you want to go back to our land and our nativity and rule in the kingdom of heaven. All right. But for the sake of the conversation, these people have been so swindled and bamboozled. They don't realize when Trump was let's say you was, hypothetically speaking, in the politics. They are so manipulated, they don't realize when Trump was in office, shit was better. All right? He was giving out money everywhere. Crime wasn't as high. All right? Interest rates on housing wasn't as high. Everything went belly up when he got out. Like if you in your, if we talking about thinking on the carnal worldly spectrum, and our people are just manipulated by one thing: he's a racist. Don't look at his politics. Don't look at his values. If you was to give these people 10 things that they want in a president, okay, our race, preferably the tribe of Judah, but all of the tribes, right? And you put Trump's belief system up, and you put Kamala Harris's belief system up, and you say, scratch off the 10 things they believe in. You're going to have more, if you're a so-called Negro, Native American person of Hispanic descent, the things that Kamala Harris stands for is going to be less than the things you have in common for what Donald Trump stands for. Donald Trump is against vasectomy, sex changes, gender equality. Well, no, our people for gender equality. But he's women putting men in women's sports, killing babies when the woman is in her last stage of giving pregnancy. Trump is against all that shit, man. He's against gay marriage, okay? He's against everything that most of our people in the Christian church is supposed to stand for. Kamala Harris is with all that shit. But that's the witchcraft and sorcery that we about to see. Let me play this.
Good morning to you. Hit that like button on the way in or on the way out.
So, of course, Al Sharpton got up there and spoke, and he brought out the Central Park 5. I'm going to play this clip.
Now, he brought out the Central Park 5. You're going to hear what this dude say to play on the minds of the simpletons. He ain't going to talk nothing about politics. All right? He's not going to talk about border crisis, gay marriage, sending the troops off to World War III, things of substance to the people. He's not going to talk politics to the people at all. He's just about to use this gimmick and trick to sway the people to be like, it don't matter if she want to cut off Social Security. It don't matter what she want to do. She's black, and Trump hate black people. That's so fucking simple as fuck. And the minds of the people are going to be swayed. That's why the Lord got to kill 2/3 of our people, man. This place takes away your thinking capacity. It just takes it away. You can't think analytically or critically at all, man. Okay, that's why the Lord in Micah the 2nd chapter say this is not your rest. It will pollute you. What is it polluting? Your mindset. your thought process, all right? You become inhumane and profane like the heathen round about you. You're a fucking Roman, a piece of shit degenerate Roman.
Ago, my friends and I were in prison for a crime we did not commit. Our youth was stolen from us. Every day as we walked into the courtroom, people screamed at us, threatened us because of Donald Trump. He spent 45.
Now, when you read and look at the movie, Donald Trump believed what the prosecutor said. He believed what the DA said. He got information that they admitted to doing it. Like he didn't know that they were coerced to saying that. All he heard was, like everybody else, they admitted to doing it. It came out later that they were coercing, things wasn't done through due process. A lot of laws was broken, all right? But Donald Trump was just like everybody else. Oh, they went in. One of the daddies brought his son in and told him to admit it, all right? And admit it. So Trump was just going off of the information given to him just like everybody else. And hey, look, I'm not taking up for this devil. He's a devil of devils, okay? But he gonna get World War III popping so we can get the fuck up out of here. He gonna get that, and if he don't get in the office, he gonna get that Civil War popping. All right, so these prophecies could jump off the book. All right, they already jumping off the book, so it speed up the process. All right, he's a major figure in this final hour. Okay, so they got this guy saying Trump was the reason they went through their ordeal, but if you could think rationally, nah, the DA was, the prosecutor was. That's why he got you in the situation. Trump didn't have nothing to do. The detectives is the reason you're in that situation, not Trump. But simpletons don't think that far. It's Trump, because Trump said when it was a travesty what they did to that woman. They brutally raped her. He just spoke on like what everybody else. Trump wasn't the only one saying that shit. Everybody, but he said it was happening because of Trump. No, it was happening because of the DA, nigga. Because of the detectives that lied. Okay? But simpletons can't think.
$85,000 on a full page ad in the New York Times calling for our execution.
You see how they are swayed? That has nothing to do with what his politics is, what he say he's going to do when he get in office. They're not going to vote according to where the way sensible people vote. They're not going to rock out to that. This is the witchcraft. Their mind is being swayed by strong delusion that has nothing to do with what a civilized person, the information, the data they would collect to go vote for the person. You got to learn the person's politics, what their pros and their cons, what they're for and what they're against. That's how you go vote for somebody if you're going to vote for somebody. But our people, all right, Trump did not arrest those guys. Trump did not prosecute those guys. He had nothing to do with it. But they're using that as a way to take votes away from him. It's witchcraft. That's what you call witchcraft. He's altering the mindset of simpletons, just use because the man spoke on the situation like anybody else spoke on it. That's witchcraft. That's a example of witchcraft, what you're seeing right here.
We were innocent kids, but we served a total of 41 years in prison. Reverend Al Sharpton stood with us.
You see, and Reverend Al Sharpton is a puppet, and he said we did a total of 41 years in prison. That's a lie. All right, he's kept, but these people, they'll believe that shit. They'll believe that shit. They calculated all of the time that all of them had. All right. So you get 7 times 5, what is 35. One might have did a little more time than the other one. So if all of them did, what's 8 times 5? 40. If all of them did 8 years and one of them did 9, that's 41 years. All right. So none of them did no more than 10 years. Okay. But hey, a simpleton will believe they did 41 years. That's how our people are swayed so easily, and they're going to be swayed through witchcraft to come kill us, man. That's why your family members, they're in that bunch. They're in that 2/3 bunch, man. All right.
Now, I'm proud to stand with him today.
My reaction to that, your punk asses confessed. They didn't beat it out of you. One of you is dead.
Lee, you gotta love Judge Joe Brown.
I like
Look at that woman
Judge.
up there.
I like Judge Joe Brown. I do. I like he be keeping it real. He remind me of my uncle. I got an uncle that just like I got an uncle that look like that nigga. They the same skin tone, talk like him raw, like to sip on that Crown Raw all day and talk shit. I got an uncle just like that, bro. And he's no nonsense. He's a straight shooter. I love him. He's still wicked of the world, but like those men, like Elder Rick always, Apostle Rick always say, real men, bro, that stand for honorable things, man. Like, nigga, your daddy took you down there to confess. That don't got nothing to do with Donald Trump wicked ass. But that's the point of the matter. Me bringing that out is you see how easy those people were swayed. Like those dudes was locked up because of Donald Trump when Donald Trump had nothing to do with that. He just spoke on the information he had. That's they got the puppet Al Sharpton to bring those guys up to tell that story so these people go vote for Kamala. Those are the gimmicks, the tools, the devices they use on our people. Let's get it. And the elect won't be swayed by him. I don't want Ratazar. We're a part of that number, man. We not that shit. That bird don't fly over here. This is 2 Corinthians 2:11, and it's written, "Lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices." Okay, we understand. We know those devices. We know the devil's dirty tricks. The Lord has had mercy on us. That's a dirty trick, a low down, dirty manipulation device used on simpletons. Let me go up a little bit. All right. What it is, 2 Corinthians. No, that's Colossians I'm looking for. Let me get Colossians. This is the book of Colossians, chapter 2. And the Lord, all he did was warn us through his word, man. He told us these times would come. The Lord say, beware. Let me get that word beware. In the Greek. Shit, I took it off. Come on back. Let me get that word beware in the Greek. And let's see what the Lord wants us to beware of. All right, let's get the meaning of that word beware. Okay. Colossians 2:8. Okay. Get that word. Here we go.
Strong's G 991. Blepo.
That's in the Greek. Now, the Lord told us, beware. A primary verb to look at, literally or figuratively. Behold. All right. Look, lie, perceive, regard, see, sight, take heed. All right. The Lord say, take heed. All right. And that sight goes in to see, man. We can only see if you got to have this eye salve to see, man. The Lord got to give you eyes to see. All right. Because the sight of these people, they're blind. They're dumb dogs, okay? To regard. So the Lord told us to beware, all right? Take heed, be able to see, regard, and perceive, all right? And let's see what he told us to beware about. Lest any man spoil you through philosophy and vain deceit. And that's what you just saw in that clip. People being spoiled, all right, through philosophy, the democratic process, the way that Americans do things, and vain deceit, all our lies, all right? They gave a false narrative that Donald Trump was the reason that they went through so much turmoil. That's a false narrative. It's a lie. It's vain deceit, okay? And these people can't think critically and be like, nah, the person that prosecuted you and the detective that interviewed you is the reason you're in that condition. Y'all was in that condition. Donald Trump just spoke on the information that was given to him. But that's what witchcraft does to you. It manipulates your senses where you can't think straight. Okay? After the tradition of men and after rudiments of the world and not after Hamashiach. You see? And that's what happens to our people. They are spoiled through these lies, all right? And they follow the tradition of men, all right? They're going to go to the fucking voting booth, all right? I mean, if you go to a voting booth voting in this fine hour, you're a spoiled, man. You wood for the fire, all right? That means you're saying with your actions that you want America to go forward. You don't want this kingdom to be taken down, all right, and moved out of the way, all right? Imbeciles. All right, this is Deuteronomy 18 and what precept I got? 14. All right, 18 and 14. All right, and it reads, "For these nations which thou shalt possess, hearken to observers of times." You see, the nations in Canaan were nothing more than warlocks, witches, sorcerers. Okay. All right. The inhabitants of the land was in the left-handed magic heavily. All right. These politicians are into left-handed magic, deeply into it, and they sway the minds of the people. All right. They pervert your judgment. All right. They have you thinking good is evil and evil is good. That's witchcraft. Your mindset has been overtaken. You don't know if you're going or coming. You're void of judgment. And into diviners. All right, we went into that word diviner. But as for thee, the Lord thy power have not suffered thee to do so. You see? So we don't take heed from these politicians. We don't listen to these so-called experts in the society, man. We revert back to the scriptures and listen to our elder brothers. The elder apostles of Great Millstone. That's who we get our advice for. If we want to counsel from something, we go to somebody that has this knowledge, man. Okay? That's the way we do things, okay? But our people give in to these diviners, all right? These soothsayers, okay? These wizards, these warlocks, all right? And it's going to bring in their timely demise, all right? This is the book of Proverbs, chapter 14, verse 15. It's a 4-time written. The simple believe every word, you see? The simple void of understanding. All right? What makes you simple? You're alienated from the Most High. You don't have knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. All right? So a simple person could be manipulated like a woman. If she don't have no discretion or a daddy to teach her how to handle herself, a smooth talking, silver tongued nigga could manipulate her mind and have her out there on the host road selling her body. All right? Because she's simple. She's light-minded, light-headed. Okay? And the simple people believe every word. That's 2/3 of our people. They believe whatever you sell to it. Put it on the news, they believe it. All right? But this is what the Lord say about his servants. But the prudent man looketh well into his goings. We're going to look into that thing. We're not just going to take what's given to us. We don't just buy what they selling. All right? We're going to see, we're going to search diligently to see if this thing is true or not, or if they're trying to manipulate us. We don't just take what the so-called white man gives us for face value. We know he's the devil the Bible speaks of, the great deceiver. All right. And we say, call Halayim Yahweh Shem Awashai for pulling us out of this dark, perverse world into his mother marvelous light and enlightening us, enriching us. All right. So we can see. Okay. This is Isaiah 14 and 22. No, I must have looked at that wrong. I think I wrote down the wrong scripture. I know where I got though. I think I know where I was. This ain't it. I think is it. Isaiah 42. I'm supposed to be in Isaiah 42. Bear with me. Yeah, I'm supposed to be somewhere over here. Here we go. That's what I wanted. Isaiah 42 and 22. But this is a people robbed and spoiled. This is a people that can be easily manipulated. This is a people that believe everything that someone tells them. All right? When somebody rob and spoil you, they're taking advantage of you. Okay? Here in America, we've been taken advantage of. Okay, this so-called white man, the scriptures say he was more subtle than all the beasts of the field. All right. Out of all the nations that conquered her, he's the one that said, look, I want you to think like me. Take away your customs, your culture, all the knowledge of your history that you had. If I find you partaking in those things, I'm going to kill you. He put that in as an unrighteous decree. He put in his legislation in 1 Maccabees, the 1st chapter. Okay? So we've been robbed and spoiled. Our history has been hijacked from us. Our way of life has been hijacked from us. All right? And now our people are nothing more than Grecians, Romano, Greco, heathens. Okay? They are all of them snared in holes. They're in captivity and don't know it. They're in the prison house and don't even know it. Okay? They're in the house of bondage and don't know it. That's when you've been manipulated. That's when you've been mind fucked. All right? Instead of you trying to rise up and have a coup against your enemies, your conquerors, all right, you assimilate with them and you submit to them and then you become profane like them. All right, just like our people did during the time of the Maccabees. And they're hid in prison houses. The vast majority of the prison houses are occupied with our people, okay? But our people still think that this devil is your friend. They are for a prey. You see, Al Sharpton was preying on the minds of the simpletons in that clip, man. They were being preyed upon, manipulated, bamboozled, hijacked. It's fucked up. And none deliver for a spoil and none self-restore. But Yahweh Shema Shai is doing that for his elect men. That's why we doing these epistles. We can see. All right? This is Deuteronomy. And this is why we see, man. The Lord said, come back to his commandments. He said, if you love me, you'll keep my commandments. Well, his commandments tell us to not go in the voting booth. Straight the fuck up. This Deuteronomy 17 and 14. When thou come into the land which the Lord thy power giveth thee, and shall possess it, and shall dwell therein, and shall say, I will set a king over me, like as all the nations that are about me. All right. So, and we did that. We coined Saul our king, then we had King David, and then everybody that descended from his loins, okay? All the way to Yahushua. Yahushua is our King of Kings, okay? But he's not a stranger. He's of our bloodline. He's of our stock, okay? But the Lord told us don't set a stranger over thee. A stranger is a heathen, okay? The so-called white man is a stranger. He's a heathen. He's not of our lineage, all right? He's not of our stock. We don't share the same DNA, okay? He's of another meaning, okay? The Lord, this is a commandment. Don't go vote. When you vote for a president over you, you're voting for him to be a king over you, all right? And if you do that, you're going off. If you do that, you're going off. All right? I'm going to leave off on this precept. This is my last one. Deuteronomy 18 and 15. The Lord thy power will raise up unto thee a prophet from the midst of thee of thy brethren like unto me, and him shall you hearken. Talking about Yahushua, our great king. The testimony of Yahushua is the spirit of prophecy. According to Revelation, the 19th chapter, man. Paul wrote in 1 Corinthians, the 14th chapter, covet prophecy, covet prophesying, man. All right. And the Lord raised up the prophets of prophets. All right. Our great king, man. All right. That's who the Lord's talking about. That's who we vote for. That's the only vote that we could check off. According to all the desires of Yahweh, thy power in Horeb in the day of the assembly, saying, let me not hear the voice of Yahweh my power, neither let me see the great fire anymore, that I die not. You see, that's why we got to get these new bodies, because we ain't gonna be able to behold the beauty of the Lord in his temple, according to Psalms 27 chapter. All right, that's what King David say. That's one thing that he seek after, that he might behold the beauty of the Lord in his temple. We can't go before him in these earthen vessels that we have. We got to get them new bodies to do that. All right, because when the Lord came down and around Mount Horeb, all that power and majesty, them people was about to die. All right. They say, we don't want you to talk, Moses. We want to see the Lord. And when he came down, man, he was terrible. All right, we need new bodies to get in the midst of him. And the Lord said unto me, they have well spoken that which they have spoken. Because he's like, oh, yeah, I was going to kill their asses, Moses. All right, they ain't dumb as I thought. Verse 18, I will raise them up a prophet from among their brethren, like Benjamin be saying, like unto thee, and will put my words in his mouth, and he shall speak unto them all that I shall command him. And when you read Luke the 24th chapter, and he say, our great king say, this is what was written in the law and the Psalms about me. All right, this is talking about our great king, man. The Lord put his words in his mouth, and he told us what? Don't be deceived. Let no man deceive thee. All right? Beware, let somebody spoil you through philosophy and vain deceit. Okay? So therefore, man, that's what witchcraft is. That was an example of what witchcraft is, man. And that's what all this devil is doing week in and week out. That's what this devil is doing day in and day out, Salaki, through his media outlets, through his entertainment complex, all right? When you go to school, so on and so forth, he's just fucking you, mind fucking you. That's all he want. And the people that he can't mind fuck, red pill poppers, he's going to come kill us, Akim. He's coming forward to kill us. He know he have but a short time to rule. So he's going to come down on us with great wrath. That's why we got to be built on our most holy faith and prepare for these turbulent times that's about to come upon us. So with that, I don't want to Ratazah. This was edifying to the hearers. I'm going to give infinite honors to my Heavenly Father, my great King, Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, Bashim Harakakadash. Double honors to our elder apostles and elder bishops, a great millstone, and salutation to my fellow laborers in the Mashak Yahushua. Kwam Yasharala, Abba Abba.